Hi everyone. After last night's lecture, the week 3 lecture on February 6th, we spent a little time visiting some linked data related websites, and we talked a lot about linked data and how it relates to bibliographic data. And I showed a number of examples with lots of pointy brackets, and one student said they look pretty scary. And I didn't remember until today that OCLC is putting schema.org linked data, metadata, into the web displays of all the bibliographic records that are in WorldCat, which is the free on-the-web version of OCLC's world's largest library catalog. And I thought it's a lot less scary looking view of linked data. So I thought we could take a look at it in WorldCat, and then we'll go to the schema.org homepage. Schema.org is a collaboration by some small companies like Google and not Yahoo, but Yandex, which is the Russian Yahoo, and Microsoft, and it's schema.org is a way to put HTML encoded link data directly into web pages, and we'll take a look at it. So what we're looking at here is the web display for a book called Emily Alone, and if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a lot of good information here. There are reviews, all that kind of stuff, but here at the very bottom you see link data, and you click that plus sign and you can look at the link data, and here's the press release when OCLC started doing this in June of 2012. We can get rid of that, and here is the record. It takes us back to the record. So that's telling us that this linked data is about this record. And then you can see that it has all those concepts defined by URLs. So for example, one of the subject headings is widows, and this is at the, it's in a different, this is OCLC FAST, which is a simplified set of subject headings, and if we click that, it takes us to the linked data thesaurus for FAST, and it tells us about this subject heading windows, and it tells us about FAST. And the important thing is, we as humans can read this, but this URL that explains where this subject heading widows came from is what makes it much more understandable to a computer. If we look at one of the other subject headings, here's widows, and this is the widows from Library of Congress subject headings. We can click that, and then here we are at the loc ID at the Library of Congress subject heading for widows. And if we close this up, you can see that the Dewey classification number is explained as well. It's got a link. The older women is another LCSH. Life change events is from FAST. Life change events from LCSH. And then here is the authority record at loc ID for Stuart Onan. And we can go take a look at that, and you can see Stuart Onan. And so that's the point. I mean, this is what linked data is all about, is it's getting bibliographic data out there on the web with links to what all these pieces of bibliographic data are defined. And if we so this is a lot easier to look at. Here's the publisher than some of the pointy brackets we were looking at last night. And if we go to the schema.org homepage, this tells you a little bit about schema.org. If you go to the Get Started part, it explains to you how to mark up your content using microdata, and what Microdata really is smarter HTML that adds more information to HTML so that a web search engine like Google can tell the difference between 1961 when it's somebody's birth date and 1961 when it's an address, because otherwise it's just a string of characters to a search engine and it can't tell it apart. But the schema.org microdata tells the search engine what the number that it's looking at actually means.